Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. Today it's all about icons and heroes in FC26 with the Trophy Titans promo that features exclusively those legends of the game, specifically those that have won some silverware. The trophy dynamic images are back with this new team coming today, and hopefully so are SBCs. Guys, this is the perfect chance for EA to drop an SBC that is craftable, that is fun, that is for a unique player that we don't get to use. Now, we have some leaks of player SBCs that could be coming soon, but we don't exactly know which one is today. And that's kind of how the leaks are going with Evos as well. We know we're getting a max 89 Evo today, and all the max 89 Evos that we've had so far have been paid, but they've given really good boosts. So we're watching out for another one of those Evos today. And of course, with all this content talking about these Trophy Titans cards, we got to talk about the pack weight. That's going to be the biggest story on the game today, as these should be and will be the most packable icons and heroes of the entire year, and that raises a lot of questions about the market. How are prices going to move specifically on some of these road to the final cards? Let's discuss. If you guys are excited for this one today, drop a thumbs up with the video, hype the video, and subscribe if you are new. Now let's start with yesterday's Thursday content first, because we're trying to level up in the season pass, and yesterday EA dropped a good chunk of SP to help us do just that. We have the reset of the Season 6 weekly play, the seasonal objective, weekly objectives, and a daily objective as well, along with a Foot Birthday home kit objective. If you're really chasing after the SP, you can buy the Foot Birthday kit in the store, get some extra SP through that. But probably the biggest chunk of SP they dropped yesterday is the seasonal objective. Just for playing 25 matches across the game, you'll get yourself a nice chunk of 2,500 SP right there. Now, of course, with this SP, you've got the manager, the player career, and the club's objectives that are refreshed as well. I think if you add everything up, there was about 12,000 SP in total that was dropped yesterday. It's going to take a bit of a grind, but if you put in the time, you'll be able to level up in the season pass pretty quick. I'm only at level 14 or level 15 at the moment, so I need to put some time into the SP grind myself. Now, let's go to evolutions, where we had a right back Evo yesterday, and right away I saw that it was paid yesterday, and I just don't know if I like that it's paid. Now, I like the stat boost that this battle till the end right back Evo gives. It does give some nice playstyles as well. You have rapid, tiki taka, quick step plus, intercept base, and then jockey plus with some really nice stat boosts, specifically to passing. Like, you take a look at some of the cards that come out of this. Marcus Llorente goes up to 92 passing on that Winter Wildcards version that he has there. I got a Quadrado in the club from earlier on in the year. He goes to 91 passing. The quick step and the jockey are good base playstyle, or good playstyle pluses rather. The intercept being added to this is very good as well. There are some nice chains. I guess the more that I look at this though, I'm really not feeling the 30,000 coin price. Is that what it was? The 30,000 coin price of this Evo. But maybe this is one that you just sit on for a couple of days and wait until you can find a card that looks good in it for you. And as you can see here, like for this Kyle Walker and this Savona, there's actually some good chains you can make with just simple gold cards. Because this Evo does give such big stat boost, you can create some decent cards. Like this Freeman from the United States would be a card I'm interested in. Dalot, Frimpong, Doomfries, Davies, you can see there. If you get the right back position on your Davies, and you be able to boost him up. So that's not a terrible Evo. I just kind of wish that it wasn't 30,000 coins. I kind of wish that it was free, but it is a good boost nonetheless. 90 pace is solid for basically every card you're getting into this, and then 90 plus passing is good as well, but nothing super duper crazy. Now let's go to SBCs, where the content was more of the same. We had a lot of SBCs dropped yesterday, but they weren't super exciting. We have two different sets of marquee matchups. If you want to get some extra packs, get those done there. We have two player of the months. Firstly, we have Boga from Juventus. Guys, I actually think this is a really good SBC that's flying under the radar, because he's got a lot of pace. He's evolvable as an 87 rated card, and he's got good stats. I mean, 97 agility, 97 sprint speed, and I actually like that pace split, because that means that if there's an Evo he can go into that gives him up to maybe 93 or 94 sprint speed, you're going to have a card with like 95 or 96 pace, because that acceleration is so high. Good shot power. The rest of the dribbling stats are really good. The play styles are really good. And this card is just an 82 and an 83 rated squad. So I think that Boga is actually one worth completing for a Serie A SBC. Player of the Month there. We also had the Bundesliga Player of the Month in Undav, who I would probably say is a skip, especially if you have his 99 shooting card from Fantasy FC. 3-star, 5-star. He's got the incisive and the finesse at the very least. Interesting card there, but not super crazy. And we had our last Road to the Final SBC released, William Gomez in the Europa League for Porto. Another very pacey left winger with rapid and tech plus and 95 pace. So if you're interested in that card for the upgrades that he could get, he's only 20,000 coins to complete. So at least those SBCs are really cheap. And that was basically all of yesterday's content. There is one more small thing to mention. EA finally upgraded the Premier League cards. Bergvall, Talby with that +1, Okafor and Ake with the +2s, and I believe Ake got a base playstyle as well, and it might have been Bruiser. We could double check that really quick. But if you had any of these cards through Evos, I'd love to hear. Yeah, it was Bruiser. +2 overall and then Bruiser. I'd love to hear what sort of upgrades and what sort of cards you guys are looking at with those stat boosts that those cards got yesterday. Now, we're going to get straight into things, guys. Let's take a look at what's coming today on Friday. Of course, we have Trophy Titans, but before we even get to that, it's a Friday of Premier League Player of the Month, and Bruno Fernandes has won this Premier League Player of the Month. I actually thought it was interesting. Foot Sheriff made this post beforehand that he has now 6 Premier League Player of the Month awards, joint second most with Ronaldo and Gerrard, only behind, I think it was Kane, Aguero, and Salah. A lot of Player of the Month Brunos we've had in the past. And here's another one. And here's the thing with this Bruno card. He's got a very popular Fantasy FC item that is 1,000,000 coins. Pinged and incisive pass plus, 5-star weak foot, a 95.8 foot bin rating with 95 passing. How good is this card going to be today? I think this concept, this prediction of 90 rated is almost spot on. I'm going to expect 90 or 91 rating for this Bruno Fernandes Player of the Month today. 90 is probably the best guess. So if you kind of imagine this inform card with +2s and 3s on top of those stats, that's probably the type of Bruno Fernandes that we're getting today. And if you imagine that sort of card, maybe they give him a 5-star weak foot boost. Don't know what playstyle pluses they would give him in that. You're looking at an SBC that shouldn't be anywhere near the price of this card. It might actually come out at a decent value. Maybe it's only 200,000 coins, 250K if he's 90 rated with Tiki and Incisive Plus. It may not be a bad card to complete as a Player of the Month. So nothing super crazy there. I wouldn't even say you'd have to sell this card. If you have this Bruno Fernandes, you know, he's still around 1,000,000 coins, and this is still going to be the better version after this SBC drops today. So if there is a bunch of panic selling on this card for some reason, you could maybe even look to buy that, because I do not think they will make his Player of the Month remotely near this good, since his most recent special card that is performance-based is only an 89. So that's early SBC content that we'll have a couple hours before the normal content drop today. And then, of course, it all comes down to Trophy Titans. And EA still has this loading screen here showing the card design. I want to talk about that for a second. Guys, the card design for this promo, it looks really dark. And I really want to see how the players look in-game with their actual dynamic images on it. A lot of people are even looking at this saying, Nate, I'm going to be confused thinking I'm packing Team of the Weeks when we see this walkout animation today. And let's hope that the cards actually do walk out, because there's been times before where these full icon and full hero promos don't actually walk out and they're stuck in behind the rest of the packs. Hopefully that is not an issue that we have today. Now let's take a look at the promo team that we have officially leaked. Now we have 2 different leaks to look at. One which we looked at yesterday, which showed a couple of different playstyle pluses compared to what ASY Foot posted later in the day yesterday. Now I kind of believe this post a bit more, not trying to like say some leakers are credible and others are not. It's all up in the air until it's out in the game, right? But I will say a couple of the playstyle pluses that he is showing here on this graphic for the Trophy Titans Team 1 today, like specifically for Prinz, are different than what was originally posted here from TheFutAccountant that we looked at yesterday. Specifically with Prinz, in this he has Game Changer, Finesse, and Low Driven. That's TheFutAccountant. And in here ASY has Game Changer, Finesse, and Rapid. So it's little small things like that, but it's not going to be that big of a difference once you actually see them in game. We'll just have to see how it ends up looking. Again, I'm so interested to see the colors of these cards and how they look, since they are so dark. But again, this is a full icon and full hero promo team of players with some very high rated cards, including 3 playstyle plus cards. These are going to be the first 3 playstyle plus cards in packs since Team of the year. The only 3 Playstyle Plus cards we have this year are Team of the Years so far. We have that Rivaldo card from the Season Pass, which I believe basically nobody is able to get to yet, or should be close, but not quite there. And then, of course, the Evo that we were able to make a couple weeks ago for 500,000 coins. So this is going to be a promo of intrigue for most of us. The allure to this is the packability of these players. That's the thing every single time we get a full icon or hero promo that is so cool, because icons and heroes are always tough to get, hard to pack, hard to see in your team. Sure, there's objectives, there's SBCs, there's Evos that have icon cosmetics you can give these cards, but like actual true icons, it is not easy to pack these cards, and it's going to be made a lot easier today. Here's proof of the last time. Last year, we had a full icon and hero promo right around this time in early April. The little bro baby icons, even fitting into Evos last year, like this Zola, was down at 20,000 coins while he was in packs. And there's not just the little bro cards like we talked about in yesterday's video, Campbell, Carlos Puyol, Nesta, Shearer, Verone, that we're interested in evolving. It's some of the middle tier cards too. You're looking at some of these 92s like that Cantona, who looks decent. That Vialli with 92 pace and shooting. Alan Shearer is a 92. Zanetti with some solid stats. Maybe even a couple of the other cards as well in the 92, 93 range. Look at this Steven Gerrard 93 from last year. This was also the promo last year. We had 3 Playstyle Pluses become this is the first promo that we had 3 Playstyle Pluses for cards post Team of the Year as well. So very similar to this year. And this Gerrard was 280, 300,000 coins. The first couple of days he was in packs, dropped all the way down to 180K afterwards. So these cards going to 3 Playstyle Pluses, being icons and heroes, like not all of them are going to be crazy expensive. Now, Ronaldinho, Hullet, Alex Morgan, Zidane, yeah, those cards are going to be super crazy expensive. But guys, I'm going to be really curious, and we're going to be watching this in the stream today. I want to watch the pack weight of what it says in the store on some of these specific packs. I know that we're not going to see, some of the exact same packs that we've just seen from this Road to the Final promo, but like if EA drops this final 26 pack, there's a 44% chance of a Women's Champions League, 42 of a Europa League, 16% chance of a Champions League Road to the Final. I'm going to be so curious to see today what the pack weight is for these hero and icon cards, because I think they're going to be pretty common like they are, even though it seems different to what you would think for heroes and icons when they're the only cards in packs for a promo like this. We've seen it now. I think this is the 4th year, right? FIFA 23, FC 24, FC 25, and now 26, a full icon and hero promo team. The cards are actually decently packable, and that is going to impact the market a little bit. Like, I've got a lot of saved packs. I know some of you guys are saving packs for today as well, just because a promo like this is different, and that's some of the intrigue with it. Now, we're going to talk about the market in a little bit, but specifically with icons that are already existing on the market, that's where I'd want to be the most careful. And these Road to the Finals too, we got to be careful, but I still think there's opportunity to invest. Now, before we get to that, let's keep covering the rest of Trophy Titans content that we are expecting today. First of all, we've got multiple player SBCs leaked, and the biggest of them would probably be this Kaká. 92 Kaká with 92 pace and dribble with finesse and incisive. First promo card of the year for him. There's going to be a 90 rated Kaká in packs, as we just looked at. And then the big boy is going to be the SBC. Now, personally, that's a card that looks interesting to me, but maybe not interesting enough, because I got a lot of good Evos that are at that level statistically, or maybe even better. So the price in that Kaká is going to have to be spot on today, and it's going to have to be decently priced to make me want to go ahead and do it. But we've also got other players like this Neuer, who's expected to be in objectives, Salgado as an SBC, and then we've got Ramirez as kind of a little bro baby hero card, which looks amazing for future Evos. I know, 85 dribble, 86 passing, not the best right now, but even an 89 Hazard. Guys, with this Evo leak that is going around that we're going to talk about in a second, imagine this Hazard with low driven and quick step as an 89 rated left wing with 94 pace and 92 dribble. Imagine he drops into the game and then fits an Evo on top of that that makes him look cracked, and it's such a big name player like Hazard. That would be pretty hype. So all that to say, we don't know who is leaked today for our SBC yet. There could be 2 player SBCs today, that's for sure as well. If I had to guess, I'd say Kaká or Hazard would be one of the 2. And then other than that, probably have one more, because Promo Fridays do usually bring us 2. But that's not the only SBC content that we're interested in today. There's a lot of our regular favorite daily SBCs that are expiring, including the 83 by 14 and the provisions packs. As you can see, the provisions upgrade is set to expire content today. Team League upgrade, which always refreshes, is set to expire as well. But the 8314, I'm not worried about this going away. I just hope that if this comes back, maybe EA change it up just a smidge, like an 84x10. Who says no? An 8314 coming back would probably be the most likely thing that would happen, but that's something I'm kind of watching out for today. And on the last couple of Fridays, EA have given us these nice guarantee packs, right? Remember, last Friday, the best thing was the Road to the Final upgrade pack that we've been able to do 2 times a day during this entire promo. Are they going to drop like a Trophy Titans guaranteed pack, which we'll be able to do once or twice a day through the whole entire promo of this icon and hero promo fest that we're about to get? Like, that would be pretty dope as well. So hopefully that's going to be coming out in SBCs today. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Now, let's talk about that evolution. Max 89 rated evolutions are returning after not having one of those for, it was a couple weeks, right? Since Foot Birthday, I think. But during Foot Birthday, we had some very, very good ones. Now, Foot Police leaked this yesterday saying that tomorrow's Evo, aka today on Friday, is 89 rated, but he didn't divulge any more information on what it's going to look like. Same thing here from Mohaps, who often has the requirements for these Evos that we look at on stream right before content. He knows what is allowed to be put into them. He also says 89 max. Now, it doesn't take too much effort to really figure out maybe what type of Evo we're going to have when you look at the market and you see price spikes like this. Janola, yeah, haven't seen a lot of him this year. That's usually one of the most crazy heroes in the game. A lot of people are talking about him. Haven't heard so much about Janola this year. Anyways, he's gone from 450k up to almost 600,000 coins sitting price on the market. That can't just be random. I think there's maybe an Evo that he's going to be fitting into, or he would be fitting into the Evo that's coming out today. Same thing with this Luis Diaz, from 100,000 coins all the way up to 125k just 2 days ago. And you already see these prices moving on the market in the last 2 days. People have this news and these leaks, but is it a left wing Evo or left mid Evo? Because Janola and Luis Diaz both have striker and left mid position. Or is there not going to be a position tied to it? That's what I'm really curious to know today. This is probably going to be leaked ahead of time before content, maybe even a couple of hours after this video goes live. So without talking about it too much, since we don't know much about it, that is what I'd be looking out for today. Some people in the stream yesterday were seeing those tweets and saying, Nate, do you think they're going to drop another 500,000 coin Evo? Personally, I don't think I want another 500k Evo. Like, that was a lot of coins. Yes, the upgrade that it gave was crazy. And I know that's the first thing. You're like, Nate, are you serious? That 500k Evo for the midfielders was absolutely insane. How could you not want that again? Well, man, I just don't want to keep spending 500k for these crazy Evos. And maybe that's just a me thing. Dang, I should have tried to bid on that Mbappe. That's a really, really crazy deal. But I don't know. I would rather have like 150,000 coin Evo that's still very good. But I don't know if I want to do another 500k one yet. Like, I think those should be saved for super special occasions. Maybe we have another one of those during team of the season, but for the first 500k Evo of the year, like, let's just pause on that for a little bit and, you know, not go super duper crazy and at least preserve. I don't even know if we're preserving the power curve anymore. We're a power curve. We're basically at the exact same spot we were last year now, as I think EA, as we talked about last week, just to drive this point home again. I think EA have seen the drop-off in interest in this game all across the board, from certain levels, but all across the board you can tell that the interest is down. And I think they're trying to pick things back up by releasing crazier cards. And with that, the slower power curve has kind of gone out the window. And Evos are definitely a part of that. So we'll watch out for that max 89 Evo today. Hopefully it does allow us to create some really sick cards. I got plenty of players that are 89 rated that I love to be juiced up to another level. So we'll look at that. But last thing I want to look at in relation to today's content, always got to check the store packs, because this is where there could be some hidden crazy stuff that is going on in the pack code. It doesn't look like there's anything going on here that's super crazy. Got a lot of store packs, Trophy Titans guarantee pack, store pack right there, some player picks. You know what? A couple of these might be tradable, might supply the market a bit more for the Trophy Titan players. This one right here, Trophy Titans Team 1 guarantee pack, is the one where I'm like, please be an SBC, please be an SBC. Like, if they drop that today, that'd be dope. Of course, new Team of the Week pack in SBCs is probably going to be dropping as well. So that's kind of what we're looking for content today, right? Saved packs, probably going to supply the market a bit with these cards early. So I'm really curious to see if the Trophy Titans start out low, especially if it's the 3 playstyle plus players like that Gerard from last year are pretty packable. Then it might make some of these cards be really good investments early on. but I'm still going to be very careful with those cards today. And speaking of being very careful, I'm trying to be careful with Road to the Final cards because I can see this going one of two ways. If content slaps today, these cards could drop a little bit more. I know they're going out of packs. I know that there are games in the next week that these cards are going to be playing for upgrades, but also at the same time, if content slaps today, if we do have a rather expensive Evo, 200,000 coins, let's say, and it's a good boost, that's going to drain some coins from the market. These icon and hero cards are going to be more affordable than a lot of other icon and hero cards that are out there. And I think that might make some people sell a few cards here or there to go buy players. On the other side of things, if content today is dropped and it's like, ooh, man, this really isn't that sick, which I find it tough to believe that it's not going to feel super dope with the icon and hero promo being what it is, just the allure of getting those rare cards. That doesn't happen very often. So if content doesn't slap today, I think these cards could actually go up. Remember a couple of weeks ago, I think it was Answer the Call cards actually, where content didn't hit right away after they went out of packs. Then they jumped in price. I think the same thing happened for Foot Birthday cards from Foot Birthday Team 1 to Foot Birthday Team 2. If content today doesn't slap, I think these cards will be a good buy right after content, but that's going to be something we decide in the moment. But also with these Road to the Finals, I think it will be a good time to still buy them this weekend because, again, these are live cards. They've got upgrades on the line, and as we've seen, even the women's cards have moved this week while being in packs during the games. We saw, like, Paredes go up yesterday. Now, some of the cards have come back down, and this is one of the reasons why I think we want to be selling some of these cards. Look at Bull, down at 100,000 coins, even after winning, and she's deserving in 2 upgrades, right? 5-star skill moves, the rolls, and getting 1 base playstyle. You see Vicky Lopez and Irene Paredes are still doing fine, but I'm still a little bit worried about these Road to the Finals. I'm still invested in some as well. I think you can continue to hold. Like, I've got a couple of Yates at 140 to 150. I'm still going to hold him, right? He's 130,000 coins. I have a couple of Sanchos at 230. I think I'm just going to end up holding this card and risking it on the few that I have. But at the same time, it also might be safe to sell the card, take the coins, and then just be ready to go for today on a Promo Friday content day. The most safe thing you can do every single week for a Promo Friday, since it's the biggest day of content that we get each and every week, is to go into the promo liquid. And apart from having a couple of Road to the Finals on my transfer list, that's kind of where I'm at the moment. So I'm probably going to sell up on not any of these cheaper Road to the Finals, but I do have a Due and I do have a Hincapie as well. So I'll probably sell up on those and then regroup today for the content drop. Now, if you're wanting to make coins today, guys, I still think I'm going to shout the same things that I shout often. Trading with out-of-pack special cards. Now, expensive cards, look at that. Look at this Jude. He is tanked in the last couple of days. Expensive cards, I would not recommend. Cheaper cards, I would recommend. I would also recommend getting on the bids. Now, if there is good content, the rest of this market, like these cards, could drop a bit. But Leroy Sané, 80,000 coins. You know, the Evo might hurt his price today. Sure, it could. But at the same time, this is a card that if you see him drop a bunch, you can get on bids and probably still trade with him. Will I recommend trading and bidding on fodder today? Look at 85s. They're 1.8K. Unless we get something crazy like exchanges, fodder looks like it's going to go a little bit lower. Yes, if we have Kaká or Hazard today, maybe that makes some of these cards go up in price. But, man, fodder is looking more and more like it's just going to stay cooked unless EA do something crazy with SBCs, specifically drop exchanges. Now, I will say, if you do want to trade with fodder, trading with fodder on Friday nights is always good. But really, where the best margins are is 88s, 89s, 90s, and 91s. That's where you're going to want to get on bid for fodder cards. And, of course, get on bids for the new promo cards that are coming in packs as well, because there'll be easy, quick flips that you can have there. But investing-wise, what you're going to want to buy this weekend is Team of the Weeks once again. Team of the Weeks at 11,000 coins when they get back down there. Right now, they're like 13 to 14K. But they're going to drop this weekend. They always do. And I think that's going to be your best and easiest investment that you can make during this weekend to at least start stocking your club either long-term or even short-term. Maybe the next week informs go back up to 14 to 15,000 coins where we've been selling them all week, and you'll be able to make some coins off of that. That's kind of what I would be looking at right now today for some quick flips and trades. And then, of course, always for out-of-pack special cards. When you see undercuts, like I love flipping this Florian Wirtz card. I flipped him like 5 times in the past, I don't know, 3 or 4 days, just because he gets listed up like that all the time. And I'm about to go to sleep, so I'm going to list that for 6 hours. Hopefully he sells at 1.699. We get a nice little chunk of profit right there. And that's what you can do always with out-of-pack special cards from the most recent promos, is do some trades. There might be a little bit of a Friday night bubble tonight, but I don't know how crazy it's going to be because all eyes are going to be on these Trophy Titans players and these new cards. We might be trading with a couple of the Trophy Titans today too. That's why I wanted to mention that earlier. They might be cheap early on within the first hour or two, rise up a little bit for a Friday night bubble, then come down again, but we'll just kind of follow that as it happens, as we see the content, see the market, and watch things move on a promo Friday and FC 26 tonight. If you're excited to pack some icons and heroes today, drop a thumbs up in this video. I mean, I'm opening my safe packs today after content. I'm super excited for that. See if we hit anything cool, and maybe just hit a couple of baby Trophy Titans, but then we can upgrade through Evos. But if you enjoyed this one today, once again, drop a thumbs up in the video, hype the video if you haven't already, comment down below if you have any questions, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let's have a Friday. I'll be live on stream about an hour before content. Drop by here on YouTube or over on Twitch or TikTok. Tap into the stream, and we'll have ourselves a Friday night, man. If you enjoyed this one again, drop a thumbs up on it. I've already asked you to do that 3 times, so I'll stop. Have a great Friday, guys. See you in the stream. Peace out.